Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I try not to concern myself too much with that. I think that at the end of the day, you know that he's a guy that has the ability to extend plays, and on third down, that's been one of the reasons why early on we were having a lot of successes because of his ability to extend plays. So you just try and block to the echo of the whistle. I don't really get into the seconds he's holding onto the ball and all that stuff. I think that that's out of my realm.
You guys have had slow starts on the road, especially, and trailed in 6 of the 7 games by double digits. Do you see anything that early in these games?
Well, I mean, you see that we're not having success. I think that if anybody knew the reason why, we would have fixed it by now. I think that this game's obviously more complex and more. It's not as simple as, hey, let's just do this and that'll cure all the issues. Obviously, you fumble the ball twice to start off a game, you're going to not have a great first quarter. So, I felt like we were doing pretty good things the first drive, and then obviously the fumble kind of hurt us. Then the second drive, the sack fumble. I mean, I think that you just, get back to the tape, try and figure out what you can do to get better, and that's it.
Chase, after the game, obviously, a lot of guys said, we went through this last year. Gives us a familiarity that we can do it again. Do you have that sense that?
Well, each year is different. I try not to compare seasons. Just like last year, I tried to not compare it to the year before, and I'm not trying to compare this season to any other season. The fact of the matter is, each year is different. You have different guys. You have, this league is an evolving league, and every year you're trying to, just get better and improve your craft. And I think that we have a lot of older guys that have been through adversity and been through things like this before. But to say that, because we did this last year, we're going to come out of it or anything like that, I think that, the reason we came out of it last year is we took long, hard looks in the mirror, and everybody tried to do their job just a little bit better, improve on what they were doing just a little bit better. And, that's the only mindset you can have, coaches, players, everybody. So to answer your question, no, I don't think that last year has any indication upon this year.
Do you get the sense that guys are once again taking hard looks in the mirror?
Yeah, I think that that's very much the case.
Jason, Doug said today you guys are really close, whether it's a block, a cut, or pen. Does that make it? I assume you agree with that. Does that make it easier for you, knowing that there's a little tweak here?
Well, it's always close. This league is a very close league. I mean, there's, obviously, the end result did not look close at all. But I think that obviously if we don't turn the ball over to start the 2 drives off, if we pick up a third and short, or third and 4 yards or whatever it was, the game could have been drastically different. But obviously we didn't do that. So I try not to get too much into how close we are or anything like that. I just, all you can do in this league is just try and keep getting better yourself. I think when you start thinking about other things, you start, looking at, maybe if we do this or we do that. I mean, there's a lot of people that get paid a lot more, or they get paid differently to make those thoughts. I just try and take care of my job. I think if you try and look too much like that, you can get caught chasing ghosts pretty easily. At the bottom line, if everybody's getting better, the players we have are the players we have, the coaches we have, the coaches we have. This team is what it is. So, everybody just try and get better. Coaches, players, all across the board. That's the mindset I think that you have to have.
On that third down blitz,
This week, is he? You've been around him a lot. There's a lot swirling. How has he been?
Same. Yeah, I think that he's a guy that is very even keel, just trying to get better. We're all just trying to make this thing better. So I haven't noticed any difference.
On that third down blitz that Carson was sacked, they gave it kind of like a pre-snap overload look. They had three down linemen.
Yeah.
And they ended up dropping linebackers, and they just sent
they brought the nickel. Yeah.
Yeah. What could have gone? What could have gone differently there?
I don't want to get into that, to be honest with you.
Is that something you guys could have recognized pre-snap, or is that a new look that they gave you?
It was not a new look. We were prepared for it going into the game. It wasn't executed. That's about all I'll say.
Lane Johnson said there was some slippage during the week with some stuff, whether it's a little late to meetings. I don't know one or two players or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Do you think there's any problem with accountability, or has there been some slippage in details during the week that leads to games?
I don't know. To be honest, I haven't noticed an incredible amount of that. I think when you start struggling, and this is something that we've certainly hit on, especially in our room, when things aren't going right, the biggest thing you're trying to do is just do your job better. So what's that? Do the little things better. Make sure you're where you need to be on time. Make sure you're doing all the little things necessary. And if you take care of all the little things, the big things tend to take care of themselves. That's kind of the motto that Jeff Stoutland for sure tells us in the O-line room. So I think that for Lane, that's probably what he was hitting at. I can't say that I've noticed a tremendous amount of guys, being late coming into the building. I think that would have probably been a much bigger addressing point by the head coach if it was.
Hey Jason, from your perspective, what does this offense do well? What do you guys hang your hat on right now?
Right now, I think we not too much the last couple of weeks. I mean, I think that in the past we've been a very physical team up front. We've been able to hit some double teams and things like that, and for the most part, we can still do that. But the run game production hasn't been there, and we need to improve in that area. We can improve in pass blocking as well. I mean, I don't think that really there's any area that we can't improve on. I'm not hanging my head on anything. I'm trying to get better in every facet.
Can that message of doing the small things right, like you just said to John about the accountability, also be said about the execution and the want to fix that execution?
Well, I think that's kind of the mindset. Is if you're doing all the little things necessary, if you're focusing on where you put your foot, where you put your hands, all the little fundamentals, all the little techniques, things that we've repped for a long time here, things that guys have repped from the moment they started playing football. If you get back to the roots, a lot of this stuff takes care of itself. Now, it's a much more complex issue, and I think that. But as far as we're concerned, I think that you're just trying to get better. You're trying to make sure that things you made mistakes on the last week, make sure that you are working on the technique to make sure that it doesn't happen again, and make sure as prepared as possible for the next week.
Where do you think the team is right now in terms of the locker room and the mentality of going into Buffalo?
I mean, after today, man, I feel like this team is in a really good spot. And I felt it in warm-ups. I felt it during practice. Guys was flying around, having fun, dancing and celebrating. Kind of some things that we've kind of been lacking. But I feel pretty confident in this team that we'll bounce back. Like I always say, our back's against the wall, and I'm excited. We just got to keep building day by day.
What has the messaging been? You spoke last week about how, as a veteran and a leader in this team, you have to make sure that you're setting that message as well. So what is the message after two really tough losses going into Buffalo?
We just have to stay positive. I don't think we can, obviously two tough losses in 2 weeks. We can't let that define us. Obviously we're 3-4, and our record said where we are, but we can't let that define us. We can't let that define this team. We can't let nothing come between this team and wedge us and pull us apart. I think just times like that it makes us come closer, and I know we'll do a good job of that.
This team brought in two really young defensive tackles in Rush and Huggins. Excuse me. How do you try to get them up to speed if they are going to be playing alongside you on Sunday?
I've been spending a lot of time with them. Today I spent a lot of time with them in the meet room. I spent a lot of time with them on the practice field. Just trying to get those guys up to speed on what we're doing or how we do it, the way we do things, and just trying to get their technique right. Obviously, Rush was here doing training camp, so he's a little bit ahead of Huggy. So, right now, just trying to get those guys comfortable and confident to go out and play on Sunday.
How hard has it been just with a revolving door next to you, with Malik getting injured, Tim getting injured? It just feels like it's never Hassan getting injured. It's like it's never stopped. And how does that affect you getting yourself going? I
mean, I don't think I can let it affect me, but I just got to be mentally strong about it, and knowing that whoever they bring in, that that the team trusts whoever they're bringing in, and I have to trust that guy. I got to gain trust in those guys quick, because I'll be playing with them on Sunday. And being two really young guys that honestly just never played a real snap in the NFL, and just trying to get them to understand, just go out and play, man. Just have fun. I tried to tell them today that it's not your first time playing football, so just go out Sunday, start some practice, but obviously on the game, just go out and have fun.
You ever put too much? You ever put extra pressure on yourself, knowing that inexperience is next to you? That hey, I've got to stick it up to even another higher level.
I mean, absolutely. I think I got to go out and just trust myself. That's the biggest thing. Trust myself, and helping those guys get lined up. If they got a question about it, I've been discussing it all day with them. Man, if you got a question, don't be scared to ask me, because right now we need you. I need you. This team needs you, and we just got to we hold each other accountable to that.
What do you see out of Josh Allen as a quarterback?
I mean, he's an athlete. He can run, he can throw the ball. I think we have to treat him as a running back when he's running the ball because he's one of those guys that don't mind dropping his shoulder. Sometimes you got to love a quarterback that just wants to drop his shoulder and treat him as a running back. So we've got a lot of respect for him. We think that's a really good football team. They're 5-1 for a reason, and we got to get back on the right track.
Doug Peterson said this team is mad. Would you agree with that?
Very mad. This team is angry. Like I said, man, we can't have no distractions. I think that we have to stick together, and the leaders have been doing a good job. And it started yesterday when we got here. It's rolled over into today, and you could just feel it in practice, man. I think we get on the right track.
Was there a discussion with the leaders and everybody else about the leaks and things like that, and just kind of coming together?
I don't think we're a family. We got to stay tight. I think the biggest thing for us is to make sure that the leaders keep leading. And to get this football on the right track, it's going to take the leaders in this locker room. Obviously, we all need to look at ourselves. I always look at myself first before anything. But as a leader of this team, as leader of the defensive line, I have to start with my group, and then just let it trickle down to the team.
I mean, obviously, no one's pleased with how we played Sunday night. Like we said, it was an embarrassing performance. So guys are anxious to get back on the practice field today. I thought we had a great practice today. Guys are flying around, a lot of energy at practice today. So we're just trying to move on, trying to find ways to win a football game, and I think all signs are pointing up.
Obviously, it's a different season, but you guys have gone through similar adversity before. I'm thinking back to the loss to the Saints last year. You guys are sitting at 4-6. Can you pull from that now?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, yes in the fact that a lot of the guys have been here before. They've dealt with adversity. But at the same time, the team is completely different. The guys are at different stages of their career, a lot of new guys. So you can't just be like, oh, we're going to flip a switch and turn this thing around. It starts in practice, starts having a good week of practice and going from there. But the sky's not falling. I mean, I know that saying's been said, but the sky isn't falling. We're one game out of first place, and we play the first place team again. So obviously we got a tough stretch of games going forward. We understand that, but there's no bigger game than this week.
Doug said on Monday that the first 7 passes, maybe you were the first or second read on those progressions. Why haven't we seen you target as much that we're making those
I guess that's just kind of the way the ball is being thrown right now. Don't have an answer really. I don't look where I am in the progression. That's above my pay grade. I just try and get open when I can, and I thought I did a pretty good job of that last week. The ball just didn't find me, and it is what it is. I just try and put wins on tape. That's a saying that I've kind of come to grips with. Just don't focus on where the ball's going, and just try and put wins on tape and let everything else fall where it may. And that's all I can do.
Was there a lot of wins? Were there a lot of wins put on tape this past week? You felt?
I thought. I mean, in the past game, I thought I played pretty well. It was just a combination of things. They didn't play a ton of man coverage, so a lot of zone coverage. And I'm moving on from last week, though. It kind of is what it is. Can't control where the ball is thrown. Just trying to do my job, getting open, and if the ball's in there, try and make a play. Obviously, I haven't been perfect in terms of. I've had 1 or 2 drops this year, which still bother me. So I'm not guilt-free, or I'm not someone that's not taking blame by any means. I got to play better, and I'm looking forward to this week.
Doug Peterson said this is a mad team right now, that this team is mad.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I mean, obviously, Sunday night was embarrassing. No one wants to put that on tape. That's not the team that we feel we are, especially against the Cowboys, a team we play all the time. So guys are anxious to get back to practice today, and everyone's just trying to focus on finding a way to win.
And following up on the targets,
Yeah.
it's not isolated. I mean, it's 19 fewer targets than through 7 games last year. It's about 3 per game. Do you think that the outside criticism that there was too many targets towards you last year has kind of affected the way the game's either called?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, when that report came out last year, it was tough. Obviously, wasn't good for anyone really, but kind of is what it is. I can't control where the ball's thrown, and I can't control where I am in the progression. My job is to be wherever they put me, help the other guys get lined up if they have any questions, and try and make plays when the ball is in there. And I don't think that the outside noise has affected them. That's kind of for them, I would say. But I mean, I feel like I'm I want to be a guy that they count on third down in the red zone frequently. I put a lot of pride and effort into being that kind of guy. And so I still feel like I am that guy, and I just got to go out there and make plays.
Zach, with some of the anonymous stuff that was put out there and noise out there, there's a lot of drama.
Yeah.
On the outside, maybe. The leaders leading more this week, trying to get this team back together, closer together, and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, we understand that when you're 3-4, there's going to be outside noise. Just simple as that, especially playing in the city. And we're moving on from a lot of the stuff that happened last week. Everyone's come to grips with everything that happened, and we're just trying to move on. We're not placing blame on anyone or whatnot. We're just trying to be the best team we can be, and really kind of have that family atmosphere that we preach so much, and really come together, whether it be the players talking to one another, whether it be the way we practice at practice. Just trying to be a team that's all in this thing together, and that's what we're focusing on.
Zach, if you look at the offensive numbers, you guys are in the middle of the pack and just about everything. What would you say you guys do well? Like what can you hang your hat on right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great question. Obviously, we've been efficient in the running game at times. We've been efficient in the pass game at times. It's just the consistency. And so we just got to find a way to be more consistent. And as we get going, the identity through consistency will show what kind of team we are. And that's the biggest thing, is trying to find a way to be more consistent, start games faster. It's hard to establish a run game if you're down 14-0. It's hard to establish a pass game if you're down 14-0 because you're one-dimensional. It's tough to be one-dimensional in this league, period. And so I don't feel like we've exactly shown who we are as an offense. I think the Packers game was a really good blueprint for us as a football team, and we just got to put ourselves in that kind of position.
Zach, are there things, I know you said like every year is different stuff, but are there things you can draw from last year when you guys were able to turn around that help you?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously it's a different team. You understand that. The players are different, but you just got to understand that the only way to turn this thing around is to get back to work. You can't press, you can't get anxious about certain things, you just got to get back to work and not panic. And I don't think guys are panicking by any means. Guys are just trying to go out there, have a great practice today, have a great practice tomorrow, Friday, and then get up to Buffalo and hope we play a great game on Sunday. It's not going to be easy. I mean, it's a really good defense. I think it's number 3 in the league right now on defense. A lot of talent. They play hard. He does an unbelievable job having those guys rally to the football, running fast on defense. So it's going to be a great test, and that's all we're focusing on right now.
Have you guys talked as a team to try to come closer and be all in, everybody, you know, with leaks and different things like that out there?
Yeah, we all in. I mean, we know what the situation is, the circumstances, what our record is, and where we at. We definitely aware of that. We just got to go out there on Sunday and prove that.
Doug Peterson said today that this team is upset. Is that the right mentality to take this week?
For sure. I mean, I think he's dead on. We had a meeting about it. Everybody talked about it, so for sure, that's dead on.
So how do you guys make sure that you're not, that the frustrations don't maybe boil over into extra drama, outside noise?
That's what you guys for, the outside noise. I mean, everyone is locked in. We still believe in one another. We just got to go out there and execute our game plan.
Can that anger fuel you guys though?
For sure, most definitely. I mean, you just got to go out there and play. Let your play do the talk. You can say a lot of things. You just got to go out there and play.
Alshon, you guys have fallen behind early, you know, a lot in these games. How do you get off to a quicker start? It doesn't seem like there's any easy answers.
I mean, it's a lot of things that play into the fact just like starting the game early. I mean, just turnovers, as coach talked about it, obviously. We can't turn the ball over. We just got to go out there and execute our game plan.
Alshon, you're at 9.7 yards per catch. That's pretty low for your career. How do you...
I don't care nothing about stats, boss. That don't matter to me.
Just to clarify, do you think that this is an execution problem on this team? There's not an effort problem on this team?
Nah, I mean, I believe in each and every one in this locker room. Everyone have a lot of heart, so it's just execution, just doing our job.
If that's the answer, then why does it still happen?
It'll come together. I believe in this team. I believe in every guy. It'll come together.
What have the veterans done, to start this week to make sure that everybody's on the same page?
The best option I can tell you, you'll see on Sunday.
One of the things that they've done, Buffalo, well as a defense, is prevent the big play this year. Do you see, hey, if we execute the right way, there are plays to be had against them?
Just play our game plan, whether it's big plays, small plays, just execute our game plan. Just play Eagles football the way we know how to play. Whatever Coach Pete dials up, we got to go with it.
Carson was stretching next to you today. What was he telling you?
Me and Carson stretch all the time next to each other every once in a while, so it wasn't about nothing. We were just laughing, joking, having fun.
You look to last year at all as a group when you guys were able to kind of go from a team that was around 500 to a team in the playoffs?
I mean, everybody talk about last year, even 2 years ago. That's over with. We here in the present. We can't talk about. We can't dwell in the past. Only thing we control these next 9 games.
But do you take little things that you guys did last year to get to that point?
No, because this team ain't the same. It ain't last year's team. It's a new year, new team, different situation.
I was trying to say you don't care about stats. That's how you guys move the ball. I mean, in terms of getting more yards.
It's about wins and losses. Stats don't matter. It's a lot of teams that got great stats don't mean they winning games.
But the amount of passing yards, the amount of big plays, I can't imagine it's where you guys want it to be. Is that fair to say?
You got some teams in this league throw the ball a lot. You got some teams running a million times, threw the ball 14 times and still win the game, so that doesn't matter.
How's your calf?
Feel great.
Wayne said after the game that maybe guys were showing up late for meetings or whatnot. Do you think that there needs to be more accountability on this team, and as a leader on this team, how do you create that accountability?
You know, Lane's piece was Lane's piece. You know, kind of leave it at that. But you know, as far as the late stuff, yeah, I mean, everybody should be held accountable. You know, top down, and you know, we're handling that in house as far as you know how we're going to make guys more accountable for you know making mistakes like that.
The slow starts on the road especially, is there something that you see offensively trying to get going? Because once you do get going, it seems like you guys are able to get into a rhythm. Is there something in the beginning of games though?
We just got to execute better. We got to execute earlier and more often. You know, there's no magic pill or magic sauce to it. We just need to perform better.
You feel like you guys are ready to go every game?
Yeah, you know, we're ready to go. Well coached. You know, we're prepared. But you know, we're the players. You know, guys went out there playing, so we got to execute.
But if that's the answer, and it's been the answer all along, why is it still happening?
I didn't say that was the answer all along. As of right now, I mean, this is what we need to do at this moment. We need to execute better and more consistently.
Doug Peterson said this team is mad. Would you say that this team is mad?
Yeah, but you know, I look at it like, you know, more disappointed in ourselves. I wouldn't just say just mad. Disappointed because we know we can execute better, we can be a better team. We're better than what we're putting out there right now.
Does the fact that you went through this last year, a similar scenario, turned it around, make for a roadmap for this? I mean, does it give you any more confidence that you're going to turn around?
Each road is different, but going through it, you know, we know, I wouldn't say a road map, but I know we got pieces as far as how to pick it up and get it together.
I felt great. Yeah, I felt electric, you know what I'm saying? Even being away, you know what I'm saying? Just being out there with the guys, you know what I'm saying? Doing our whether secret handshakes, you know what I'm saying? Even just, you know, jumping on the pile when we're making tackles, you know what I'm saying? It felt like football again for sure.
Okay, wait, we have to go back to your mom for a second.
Yeah.
How long has she been giving you the scouting reports? How does she give them to you after games?
She's been giving them to me since high school, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm not my worst critic, she definitely is. You know what I'm saying? She's super hard on me, and it gets annoying, but I listen to her for sure because she's watching.
Is it like over the phone and text?
Either. If she comes to the game, it's in person, which is more harsh. You know what I'm saying? If it's over the phone, I can kind of mute her a little bit. Y'all don't put that in there, please. She'll get on me. But, yeah, it's all love with her because I know when she's watching the game, she's not really watching the game. She's literally just watching me. So,
Jalen, even in your time away from the field, you've been a leader on this team. How does this team avoid a tipping point right now after 2 really tough losses going on the road against Buffalo?
We got to come in every day and put our working cap on. At the end of the day, season's not over. You know what I'm saying? We still got everything in front of us. Just put our working hat on, and you know we can't dwell on anything that happened in the past. You know, regardless, you know we want to have that perfect season. We want to be 6-0, 7-0, undefeated season. But it is the NFL. It doesn't happen like that all the time.
Doug Peterson said that this team is mad right now. Is it a good thing that this team is mad?
I think it's a great thing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, when you are mad, you know you coming to work, and we're going out there competing. We got Malcolm Jenkins, a guy who's been in the league 11 years. out there on the scout team. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get those extra reps. Rodney McLeod doing the same thing. So that just shows you the type of leadership we have on this team and guys that are willing to go the extra mile just to get a W.
Is an angry team with dangerous team? What about this quarterback? He's a big guy, kind of tough to bring down. He runs a lot.
No doubt.
What kind of pressure does he put on quarterbacks when he takes off?
I mean, it's as a guy in the secondary, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? You can have perfect coverage on your guy. You know, he's moving in the pocket, and he also has a big arm. You know what I'm saying? He can make every throw. So it's tough. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, us as a secondary, we got to trust that the D-line is going to do their job, get them down, and the D-line got to trust that we're going to cover up those receivers so they can get to the quarterback.
What's he like to try to bring down if you have to try and tackle him? He's a big fullback kind of guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not like your regular quarterback to where if one of the guys are in the pocket and you barely grab him, he's going to fall down. No, he's going to fight through the arm tackles. He's going to stand strong in the pocket, and he's going to try to throw it.
Jalen, how did you feel coming out of that game? Played a lot of snaps. How did you feel physically?
Physically, I felt okay. You know what I'm saying? I felt better than I thought I would. But I think that goes for, Coach Peterson and the training staff. You know, they did a great job with me as far as my conditioning, even the weight room, as far as me lifting weights, making sure my body's in tip-top shape.
What's Hard Knocks like? Did you get
Man, that like this.
Yeah.
It was an experience. It was a lot of people with cameras walking around. I was mic'd up half the episodes and stuff like that. You know, we got private interviews and stuff. So hopefully NFL film sees that I'm here and they send me a little private little DVD of myself or something. You know, so it was a good experience. Coach Gruden and all those guys, you know, those are good coaches as well.
What do you think you bring this week if you're in the lineup? What do you give?
I'm a good run stopper, and I'm going to try to give me a few sacks out there this weekend as well. I know they don't toss around like that, but when they do, you know, you got to convert that run stopping defense into a pass rush, so I'm ready for that.
Anthony, you've obviously played football for a long time. You've been on the practice squad, but you're getting thrown into the fire. This isn't going to be – there might be some rotation, but you're going to be asked to take on a lot of snaps really quick. How are you adjusting to that and just that knowing that it's not going to be, hey, you're signed, hey, you might be on the inactive list for a couple weeks, and you're going in and you're expected to play a huge role on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. You know, in this whole business, you know, I feel like they brought me in because they know I know the playbook and I will be ready for this week. You know what I'm saying? When you bring in another guy in, you got to think about, all right, well, I got to teach him this, teach him that. So they brought me in because I know the playbook, and, you know, we went over it all last night and, you know, all this morning. So I didn't have no MAs at practice, so we good to go.
Fletcher was saying that he's been working with you and Huggin quite a bit, you know, just even today, right away. What have been the conversations you're having knowing that, hey, it's your job to help make sure Fletch gets going too? What are the conversations you have to make sure you're up to speed?
It's just the communication. You know, we gotta just be all on the same page. We can all be right, you know what I'm saying, but we all wrong. As long as we all doing it wrong, it'll be right, you feel me? So he's been a real good teacher for us. Teacher to me, even the first time I was here, he was a good teacher for me. Kept in contact with me and stuff, so he's been a good teacher.
Is there anything you can pull from your time when you were here just for a bit in training camp now as you're trying to get back into this defense?
It's not fall camp. It's in-season practice, so we got to take out the shoulder pads today. That was kind of new for me, and I appreciated that, so it's good.
And look, Malik Jackson was here, Tim Jernigan was here. These are names people know, you know, defensive names that fans know. Not many fans know who you are. What would you how would you describe yourself to fans? What should fans know about you?
Well, I'm a hard worker. I'll be playing real hard on Sunday, and they can make their judgment off of that, you know. So.
How would you just describe the last 48 hours for you? Being on the practice squad in Oakland to now having a chance to potentially start this Sunday in Buffalo.
It's moving pretty fast. You know, I'm on the West Coast sleeping schedule, so I'm 3 hours back still. I'll get back over here in a few days, but it's exciting. You know, now I'm getting to play. At Oakland, I was just practicing, and you know what I'm saying. The team would leave, and I would stay back, or you know what I'm saying. But now I get to play, travel, do the whole thing. So it's fun. I'm ready.
I think I have great intensity, you know what I'm saying, dependability, you know. I think those are two big factors, you know. And, you know, once I show the coaches that I'm dependable, I can stay around here for a long time. So.
You come from a winning program at Clemson.
Yes, sir.
How will that help you as you make your transition?
Oh man, Coach Sweeney, you know, he bring in great eyes and build and mold them to be men. And you know, I'm honored that I had a chance to play with Coach Sweeney. Honored to get a chance to win 2 national championships. You know, contribute to 2 national championships. So you know, he made me for this moment. And he built and molded me for this moment. So you know, he texted me the other day and said, "Congratulations. Now the real work begins." Now the real work begins. So I'm just thankful for Clemson, thankful for Clemson fans, thankful for Philly, you know, accepting me. You know, just thankful, very thankful.
It's interesting how you say the real work begins, though. That you haven't arrived, even though you finally.
Yeah, right. I know. I'm a rookie, man. I'm a rookie. I've been in the league for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So I know I have a lot of work to do. I haven't arrived. You know what I'm saying? I haven't done none of this. I'm just like my family said. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. So you know, in that case, man, I got a lot of work to do, and I know what I have to do. And I got some great leaders, and Fletcher and all those guys. So I'm ready.
How's Fletch helping you acclimate?
Man, Fletcher was first meeting. We went to defensive meeting, introduced himself to me. Next thing you know, just start talking to me about plays. You know, he's depending on me, and I'm depending on him on Sunday. You know, he want to win games. I want to win games. We want to make the team better, and he's trying to put me in the best position to do that. It's up to me. So
much of this league is kind of recruiting you, before the draft or anything.
Yes, they did. I just went with a different choice, and that's how it went.
Were they one of the ones that called you? Or
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So much of this league's about opportunity. Now yours has arrived. What do you plan to do with it?
You know, man, take advantage of it. Make the best out of it. You know, I was telling oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I was telling my man earlier over here, you know, God wouldn't have put me in this position if he didn't think I could take advantage of it. So I'm learning from it. I'm gonna learn something from this, you know. Either it's gonna be a failure. I pray to God it's not a failure. Hope it's a big success, you know, and I'm gonna learn a lot from this situation and this opportunity. And like I said, I'm gonna put myself in the best situation to take advantage of it.
You came from a room in Clemson that had a lot of talent on that line. How do you think that being around that prepared you for coming here?
Made me better. It made me a stronger competitor. It really did. You know, it was a bunch of competition in the room, and you had to be on top of your stuff every day. If you wasn't, you was gonna get left behind. You know, one of my mottos is get right or get left. So I always stick to that. You know, and that's what it is.